You're listening to the Full Court Press with your host, Drew Duncan. Don't you dare touch that dial. Dwayne Wade and LeBron James are having a momentous reunion. It looks like Isaiah Thomas, if he's okay, they don't know yet, but could be one of the better offenses in the league. I'm about D. Wade, Kevin Love, LeBron James, Isaiah Thomas. There's a big possibility. Now, this hasn't been set in stone yet. I woke up this morning, and I still didn't find whether or not the deal was finalized, but per all sources, that's what it looks like. It looks like Dwayne Wade's going to head to Cleveland. He's going to reunite with LeBron James, and they're going to live in bliss and happiness, and they're going to celebrate another title. Wrong. They're not good enough to beat Golden State. And now that Oklahoma City just acquired Carmelo Anthony on top of Paul George, do you really believe? Did anybody watch that NBA Finals? Did their own ownership watch the NBA Finals? Oh, and by the way, LeBron James is the same guy who claims that ownership, he won't even call the owner by his name, tried to tank the team and is trying to sabotage him. More things from LeBron James that are as interesting as, I don't know, a cucumber actually being on a stick. Because you just look at that and you go, why is that cucumber on a stick? Why didn't I come up with the idea of a cucumber being on a stick? Can somebody explain to me, is it going to be pickled and be a pickle on a stick? Or is it just going to stay a cucumber on a stick? That's what it's like looking and listening to LeBron James sometimes. It's like, why didn't I come up with the idea that the owner's sabotaging you guys, trying to get all this talent, getting all this offense? But who the hell all really knows, right? What do we know? We're just people sitting behind desks trying to analyze everything and figure it all out. What I do know is this. Dwayne Wade is not as bad as people think he is. Everybody's saying he's on the downhill slope. He's at age 35. So? Wasn't Kobe Bryant in his 30s winning titles? Was it Michael Jordan in his mid-30s winning titles? Come on. Everybody slows down at a different pace. I get that. But to just write Dwayne Wade off and just say, well, D. Wade can't get it done anymore because of his age. What? All right, we'll tell that to Tom Brady. 40 years old, still playing hucket-chucket football. I don't know what to tell you guys. Everybody comes up with these theories about, well, it's the age, it's this, it's that. Just because something is said one time on ESPN doesn't make it true, okay? He's 33 years old, he's kind of getting to that downhill slope. They need to start preparing for life after. It's time. What? It's time. It's always time for something else, isn't it? I don't think that Dwayne Wade to the Cavaliers is a bad move if it is, in fact, a finalized deal today. The reason why I don't is because, obviously, number one, you have to look at the fact that LeBron and Wade have already played together. They've already got some sort of chemistry. Now, me, when he was with Miami, I will say this until the day I am gone, I'm taking it with me, that basketball team was Dwayne Wade's when they were in Miami. It wasn't LeBron's, it was Wade's. Ray Allen was another huge factor in that basketball team, and he, as far as getting the short end of the stick and credit due, Ray Allen is definitely one of those guys. He got it when he was in Boston. He didn't get it in Miami for whatever reason. I think LeBron and Wade overshadowed everybody, and I think a lot of it had to do with people were trying to create some animosity and rival that was never really there. I mean, at least on the surface, it didn't appear to be. Nobody will ever really fully know, I guess, why LeBron decided to go back to Cleveland, other than basically I think he wanted to win a title there and bring something home to Ohio, and maybe come back and just be the hero that he always kind of wanted to be, that people expected him to be. Bottom line is, now that they're in Cleveland, it's LeBron's basketball team. So the roles have been reversed a little bit. But I think that Dwayne Wade is still going to have that leadership, though. The thing that I've seen the most from LeBron James is the lack of leadership quality off the court, even sometimes on the court, just being a mentor. And I think he's got to confuse what a mentor is. A 33-year-old man calling a guy in his mid-20s, like I talked about yesterday, a kid, never really made sense to me. It's not going to make sense to me. I will never understand it. I don't get that. So I think that Dwayne Wade being there will help kind of level everybody off with this. And I think hopefully it'll level off LeBron James. I mean, my goodness. Why does everybody, or not everybody, why do some people believe that LeBron and Wade won't be able to make this work? I'm not saying that they're going to win a title. What I am telling you is that I think 2 of the 10 best players in the NBA are on the same basketball team right now. Why is Chicago willing to get rid of Dwayne Wade? And here's the thing. Everybody thought he was going to retire there, right? He was going back home. It was a great deal. But, at the end of the day, I think that LeBron James wanted somebody that he was comfortable with after the fallout that he had with Kyrie Irving. And I think Dwayne Wade being there will probably give him some insight as to why it happened and what LeBron could have done different. I mean, come on. If you ever watch that interview that LeBron James did about Kyrie Irving, it's not very difficult to tell why Irving wanted the hell out of Dodge. Now, why the Celtics were willing to get rid of Isaiah Thomas, I'll never know. Everybody can allude to that injury, but it had to have been something else with the kind of work ethic this guy has. I mean, right now you're looking at a starting lineup of, if Isaiah Thomas is healthy, of Thomas, LeBron, Wade, Love. D. Wade's got some defense now. He was the first player that was 6'3" or less to be able to get to, 100 blocks and a certain amount of points in a season. He was the first one to ever do that. So that's an advantage that D. Wade has. He's got some defense. So there again, that's something else that I don't know what people are talking about. We all know that LeBron plays pretty good two-way basketball. Isaiah Thomas, yeah, okay, people can talk about his defense all they want to, but also he's got ball handling skills, and they'll be able to actually run some offensive plays now. Love can kind of stretch out the floor a little bit, just like anybody else can. I don't understand what the big deal is, people just writing them in or writing them off. Because, look, you can see the positives and negatives to this either way you look at it. But I would love to see the Cavaliers actually start running some offensive plays. Everybody's always talking about, the way that Golden State gets up and down the court and transition and the way they play this open style of basketball and all those kinds of things. But at the end of the day, I'm still a believer in a half-court offense. Now, you could probably run some zone on defense. At least I would. I know the NBA is a man-to-man league, but I'm telling you, if you start running zone with that group of guys that you've got, it could work out. A little 2-3, like, what they do at Syracuse. Because, think about that Syracuse defense is, running out of that 2-3 the way that they do. It's a very disguised man look, and they stretch out the floor, and so they've got great length with that defense. That's the beautiful part about what Syracuse does. So even though it's zone, and it looks like zone, so everybody's like, well, it's got to be a duck. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's got to be a duck, right? Well, sometimes it's not. They just want you to think that they're quacking, but they're not. That's what I love about what Syracuse does, and I think that if the NBA would take that on a little bit, they would be very successful. And I think that the Cleveland Cavaliers could be very successful if they started doing that. Maybe some press, some hard-up press plays. Put some pressure on the defense, especially in the playoffs. Put some pressure on them. Don't let the offense get the ball up court so quickly, so easily. Take advantage. Hey, bro, you're barking up the wrong tree. You're not coming here. That's what I would do. But it probably won't happen. They'll probably play straight-up man defense. But at least I think, though, with this group of guys, you'll start seeing a lot more half-court offense. And, slowing the game down is how you beat these teams that love the high pace, because if you slow it down, as long as you're scoring, and obviously they've got the capability with those guys in the lineup, then you make it twice as hard because they get bored. They get frustrated. They do something that they're not supposed to do. They make a mistake, and it'll end up costing them the game. Do I think that you have to have the balance with transition basketball? Yeah, but you're still going to have that in D. Wade and LeBron James. It's not like any of those guys have really lost so many steps that it's impossible to do that. I'm not calling it an NBA title by any stretch of the imagination for this team, but I'm not saying it's going to be that bad. They'll probably still win 50, 60 games this year if LeBron James is as good as advertised. This is the Full Court Press. I'm your host, Drew Duncan. You guys are checking me out live from the K-Sun Studios out here in Wichita, Kansas. I am on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at DrewDuncan83. We'll be back right after this. Don't you dare touch that dial.